Hello everyone. This week I'm going to have a look at something which might surprise you a little bit when it comes to what you think of as legal writing. Brian Garner, one of the most important people in plain English, once said that 90% of a lawyer's communication is in writing. Now, I don't know how much of that 90% is going to be in emails, but my guess is that well over half will be. Which might be a bit surprising because you think of legal writing as reports, as memos, as files submitted to the court, and as many other formal things. But really, in the day-to-day life of a lawyer, most of your legal writing will be in the form of an email, which is very often overlooked when it comes to rules. Because if you have a look at my course, you'll see that there are 17 rules for legal writing, and very commonly you would apply those to those formal legal documents that you draft. You might not apply them to writing an email to a client, or to anyone else for that matter. And the reason is simple. It's because emails are really quick to write. You write off a couple of sentences, a couple of lines, and then you fire them away, the message you think has been communicated. But it's my experience that in emails, most mistakes are made when it comes to writing. Think about it. If you write a memo or another legal document, you draft it, you reread it, it might be the case that someone else looks at it, reads it, corrects it, and so the process goes backwards and forwards before it gets sent off to the client. But emails are sent by all levels of people, not necessarily the partners, not necessarily the senior lawyers, but from all members of the lawyer team to clients. And as I said, in my experience, it's in emails where most communication problems go wrong. And that's for a number of reasons. They could be language reasons, they could be grammar reasons. But as the BBC article alluded to yesterday, it could be reasons, unintended reasons. You might accidentally offend someone by the way that you write something. And that's what we're going to have a look at this week. Now, if you go onto the internet to find out about how you should write emails, then you'll find that there is a myriad of very often contradictory information. Some people say do this, some people say do that. And that's the problem with emails. There's no one set of rules that explain how you should write an email. There are, however, rules which tell you how an email can be most effective. And if you have a look at my video from yesterday, you'll see the rules that I put forward for you to draft an effective email, which are based on plain English principles. So if you haven't had a chance to see that yet, then scroll down and see yesterday's video which I posted on my Facebook page, watch it, and then learn how to create an effective email. But this week, I'm going to have a look at things which particularly annoy me when I read emails. Now, these are things that might not offend or annoy other people, as I said. The topic of writing emails is entirely subjective, but these are things which annoy me, and I'm going to have a look at, as the week progresses, things which I believe to be bad writing in emails and which I would ask you to avoid. So what's the first thing that we're going to have a look at? We're going to have a look at my name. Well, what do I mean? My name is Simon. Now, I can tell by the way that you say my name how you intend my name to be heard. What do I mean by that? Well, here's some examples. My name could be said in a number of different ways. Simon, 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 Simon. All of them infer or communicate a certain message. Now, when I receive in an email my name as the salutation without anything else, this is something I perceive to be negative. I always see in the email Simon, as Simon or Simon. I never ever perceive it to be positive, which means that this negative effect then carries across to the rest of the email. So I see the salutation being my name, Simon, and then I see the rest of the email in a negative way. So it automatically puts me in a bad frame of mind, and I'm sure that's not what your email to me is meant to communicate. So I would ask you to do this one simple tip. Always include something else in the salutation. Commonly you could go for Dear Simon, absolutely fine. Or you could say Hi Simon. He's also absolutely fine. Hello, Simon, something along those lines. Instantly, I see the salutation in a much better and a much more positive light, and suddenly I'm willing to give the email a chance. So, one thing I would ask you to do, if you write an email to anyone else, make sure you include something else in the salutation, whether it be dear, hi, or hello.